And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Tuesday, March 29th. I am Josh Engleman, and I am here to break down a 5-game NBA slate for you guys. So, before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and then follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. And then, sign up at Prize Picks right there. Banners at the top, awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo. Or just click the link in the description. Get yourself one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum, a little bit of a deposit bonus. We have a free player props tool for Prize Picks on awesemo.com. Really going to help you out in your Prize Picks endeavors. Now, good morning to everybody in chat. Great to see everybody here at a crisp 6:32 a.m. Last night was not fun. No, just... that OKC Portland game was a flaming turd to end the night, and it was as awful and dumb as I fully expected it to be. Congrats to anybody that was able to pull out any dubs last night. Hopefully you had Drew Eubanks and Brandon Williams and Isaiah Roby, who played 38 minutes yesterday, obviously. Just a truly irritating day. I think the craziest thing is simply that, like, Jokic puts up 67. It's like a normal Jokic game at 1.9 fantasy points per minute. Siakam goes for 71 in 47 minutes. Stupid Toronto-Boston game gets there. Ugh. Rogue 3, I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're happy. I'm not. Didn't go well for me. But we got 100K up top on FanDuel today, so that's going to be fun. But I think it's about that time for us to just get it started. So, got my coffee here. Went for the big boy for today as well. Hope you guys have one as well. Whether you got a coffee, tea, water, beer. You going food products this morning. Chicken nuggets, pizza, Pop-Tarts, tacos, all that kind of good stuff. You can smoke a joint. That'd be a good time too. It's probably the best way to do it. Cheers to you all. Rise and grind, everybody. Bam. That's where it's at. Let's do this. Oh man, that's still too hot, which is pretty annoying. But let's do this. First game up on the docket for today, the Milwaukee Bucks. 1.5-point underdogs in Philadelphia. 228 total. And for Milwaukee, everybody is available. Literally. Full team. Except for DeAndre Bembry, I guess, but I don't think that he counts the way that you would want him to. So let's plot this one out, because we have to assume this one is going to be like your normal style competitive matchup. So I'm going to say 35 minutes for Drew Holiday. I'm going to say 35 minutes for Chris Middleton. I'm going to say 35 minutes for Giannis Antetokounmpo. What's up, Crispy? What's up, everybody? What's up, Ronald? So we've got Brook Lopez back. He can play up to 28 minutes. Feels like this is more of a Brook Lopez game than most, so I'm going to give him those 28 minutes. I'm going to say that Serge plays... Maybe? Does he? Do we get Serge? On Saturday, was Serge... Let's look at this quickly. So that's Monday... Sunday, Saturday. Milwaukee, that ain't the one. Ooh, it was the one. Oh, I hate myself. That's not even what I want. So that's Bucks, Grizzlies, 326 box score. Was Serge just out? Doesn't say. Fantastic. Really helpful there. Thank you very much. Am I playing tonight? Yeah, I am. Okay, so no words anywhere on whether or not he was a DNP CD. I don't want to go back in time to injury reports, but feels like I have to do that. All right, so that's going to be 326. And we'll say 6 p.m. Milwaukee Bucks. Serge Ibaka was out. Non-COVID illness. Perfect. I think Serge Ibaka continues to play. So, we had Giannis, Brook Lopez, Ibaka, Portis. They played 95 minutes. I think we're going to get basically the same situation here. I think Bobby Portis is going to play a little bit less now. So maybe we say... I need to split 33 minutes between Portis and Ibaka. So I'm going to say that Ibaka plays 12. Portis plays 21. Maybe we go up to 23. Move Giannis down a peg just a little bit. And the rest of this should fill itself out. Grayson Allen is probably going to play 20-something minutes. Backup point guard run for George Hill. 26, Grayson Allen. Go 22 to Pat Connaughton. And 11 to Wes Matthews. Now we just need rates for the Milwaukee Bucks. That actually went together a little bit easier than I was expecting. Their big man rotation is just going to be tough to peg moving forward. But let's grab these Milwaukee rates. And we're going to say games that Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Bobby Portis all played. It's really all we need. And it's going to be a big sample, which is helpful. As long as it loads. There we go. Yeah, I mean, these guys have played a shit ton alongside each other at this point. Hope everybody had a good night last night. Yeah, that slate was brutal. Brutal. I hate slates like that, too. Tonight should be good. 4 games at either 7 or 7:30, and then we have one stray late night hammer once again, which should be a little bit better than last night's, that's for sure. But yeah, 100K up top for FanDuel on a $4. So a lot of people can get involved. Brandon, you shouldn't be. Just wait till they bring Kawhi back, too. And Norm Powell. And then watch when the Clippers get the 8 seed and beat the Suns. Get ready for it. Get ready for it. All right, let's pop these rates in quickly. It doesn't take much here on a day like this for Milwaukee. So Giannis, 34-something usage rate. Everything else is the same. Drew Holiday, 21.6% usage rate. Everything else is basically the same. Middleton, 24.7%. Everything else, actually, rebounding comes down a little bit. Then we get Brook Lopez, who I'm just going to leave at whatever he has. Grayson Allen, 13.3. Doesn't do much else. It's easy. Now we go to Philly. And I think Philly is just their normal rotation. I don't remember hearing any news about Philly. Yeah, no. Everybody that's normally in is in. I think I'm mostly going to keep this rotation. I guess I could bump up Danny Green a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with what I have in for Philly already. So, 1 game down in the books. Milwaukee is up first. Surprise, surprise. Giannis is the most appealing thing here for Milwaukee. He's 11-4 on FanDuel, 11-7 on DraftKings. And to me, just pretty easily the best option you're going to find. I don't have a ton of interest in the rest of Milwaukee, but it's a 5-game slate. So relatively speaking, they'll rank pretty high. But if we just hop back, well, let's look at Philly first for the context. Embiid and Harden, to me, look just as good, if not better, than Giannis. And I think Tyrese Maxey, 6,100 on FanDuel, 6,400 on DK, just because of his price tag, is very much in play. Significantly more so than Middleton and Drew, at least as of this moment. So as we look at it, you can see Embiid on FanDuel, slightly ahead of Giannis and Harden. But all three of those guys standing out. On DraftKings, Embiid and Harden are kind of next to each other. Giannis a bit of a step back further. So keep that in mind for roster construction. We move on to game number 2. Chicago Bulls, 3.5-point favorites in Washington, 223 total. And by all accounts, I think we're getting a normal Chicago Bulls rotation. No Lonzo. Everybody else is in. So I think that we just maintain our current Bulls rotation. Now, they did play yesterday, so we don't totally know for sure what's going on here. But they have hashed out a 9-man rotation. And looks like I probably need to give a little bit more playing time to Dosunmu. And maybe an extra minute to Caruso. Everything else looks hunky-dory. So we're going to keep it moving on Chicago straight to Washington. Much more difficult team to talk about. However, we do have additional information on the Wizards since I last talked about them. We have no Kyle Kuzma for this one. So that piece gets a little bit easier. 27 minutes for Satoransky. Probably needs to be 28. Ish Smith as the backup. Neto, not a part of the rotation any longer. 31 minutes out of Porzingis feels right. 17 minutes out of Daniel Gafford feels right. 28 minutes out of Rui does not feel right. We'll go 26. 29 for Denny. That seems about right. 32 for KCP. Yeah, I'm cool with that too. Kispert, I have in at 31. Honestly, it should probably be 32. I just hate how much I get of him. Anthony Gill in for 20. Make that 21. And then I've got 4 minutes of spillover, and that's just going to stay with Raul Neto. Oh, yeah, S&P. I'm sure he's going to. I mean, they can afford to slip further because they have no chance to win anything. So maybe that's their thought process, that they aren't that good to begin with and have no chance to do anything of valid, like, success in the playoffs. That's just my thought process. I could be wrong. But I think Chicago stinks when they're not at full strength. And I don't think Vooch can take a team in the playoffs to anything of, like, anything good. Alrighty, let's look at game number 2. Bulls, again, favorites. Lots to like here, too. Dosunmu on FanDuel is 3,600. Now that he's playing massive minutes, again, definitely want to go there as a value option. Vooch, DeRozan, Levine all look really, really good in the 7s on FanDuel. If any one of those guys sits, that's exceptional. They look really good on DraftKings, too. Bulls are loaded for today. Great spot as well against the Wizards. Now, for the Wiz, Porzingis 8,500 on DraftKings looks pretty good. Satoransky for 3,600 on FanDuel looks pretty good. You can get to Kispert a little bit if you need to. But this game looks a lot better as a team event than that first game did. Like, we don't crest that top group, but look at that group of Dosunmu, Vooch, and DeRozan right behind those Milwaukee Philly guys. That's on FanDuel at least. On DraftKings, you get Porzingis, looking similar to Maxey. Porzingis kind of similar to Levine and Kispert, DeRozan, Vooch. Really difficult to pick out of the Bulls today. And now we get into the 2 garbage dump games for today. The Detroit Pistons are 13.5-point dogs in Brooklyn, 229 total. Blech to that one. Now we know Jeremy Grant is going to be done for the rest of the year, so we can at least make that adjustment. Do we know anything else for the Pistons? No. They're just normal. They're just normal. So clearly we saw some games with no Jeremy Grant recently. Now they've been all over the map. This sort of looks like the Process logo right here. Just patches everywhere. So we're going to go Isaiah Stewart. I think he's going to play something in the neighborhood of 29 minutes. We're going to say that Kelly Olynyk is the backup there playing 19. I think Marvin Bagley just steps right into 32 minutes. Rodney Magruder, I believe, should play a decent chunk here. Although, they have been playing Braxton Key. So if I give Braxton Key 16 minutes, we still get Corey Joseph and Killian Hayes basically splitting the point guard minutes. Have they switched the starters? Because that's really all that matters. And clearly I don't pay that close of attention to the Pistons to know that off the top of my head. Still Corey Joseph starting. Didn't close in this one, and it was tight, and they closed with Killian Hayes. So I'm going to knock these guys down to 24-24. Frank Jackson in for 18. I'm going to make that 16. Give a couple more minutes to Magruds. But I think the rest of this looks fine. Now, we do need to grab rates for this Pistons team because no Jeremy Grant matters. And he's missed such a chunk of games that I think we can go to just games that Jeremy Grant did not play. But we definitely need these Pistons rates. Oh, that coffee is not good today. Really just not good. All right, let's grab those rates. So I think that we're going to like Cade and Sadiq Bey a lot here. It's a great matchup for the Pistons, if we're being honest. Facing Brooklyn is a good thing. Now, they're going to get their asses kicked, or at least they should, but... All right, so we'll start with Cade. 26.7% usage rate. Bit of a bump to his assist rate. Actually, a crappy rebounding rate. Looks worse than I thought. Isaiah Stewart, he's just sort of himself no matter what. Marvin Bagley, I'm just going to leave him be. Sadiq Bey, 22% usage rate. Assist rate actually comes down. Rebounding rate stays the same. We're jamming in Sadiq Bey on FanDuel. That much I can tell you. I don't know what's wrong with his price, but he's the best guy we've seen so far. Now we go to Brooklyn. Obviously, Kyrie able to play in this one. Only guy we're missing is Ben Simmons, which sort of means that we're not touching anything for this rotation, but we do have to move a couple pieces around because we do have LaMarcus Aldridge back now. And I think he's going to be playing, so that matters. I'm going to say that Drummond plays 24. I don't know why Patty Mills is playing less than Dragic, but he shouldn't. We will take 2 minutes away from Bruce Brown. Actually, it looks like we might take a couple more away from Bruce Brown, too. So let's get Aldridge in for 18. Most of this feels okay. 31 for Seth Curry might be a bit too high. take him down to 30. I'm fine with Mills at 17, Kyrie at 36, Durant at 37. All of that seems fine. Oh, SMP, he's playing today. Yeah, it's not going to stick. He's for sure playing. They had to ruled him out otherwise. Yeah, we'll do something like that. That gives me 4 more minutes. Give 2 more to Dragic. Then I'll just throw a couple at Kessler Edwards. Rates all stay the same, so this one's not going to be all that interesting. For the Pistons, Sadiq Bey on FanDuel at 5,500 is an incredible play today. Just that price is just so incorrect. 7K on DraftKings isn't all that bad. Cade on FanDuel is 7,700. That looks really good. 8,800 on DraftKings really isn't all that bad. I think Bagley is perfectly reasonable on both sites, but 5,600 for DraftKings looks totally fine. A lot more to like for Brooklyn than I would have expected. For Detroit. For Brooklyn, though, Drummond on DraftKings for 5,500 is a really nice price tag. If you want to go to Kyrie or Durant or even Bruce Brown, I think that's all viable. I feel like I have Bruce Brown over projected here, so I'm going to take another minute away from him. But otherwise, I think we're looking good here in Game 3. Yeah, like Sadiq Bey is now the #1 guy on FanDuel, and I don't think it's close. To me, you're just sort of locking him in at 5,500. On DraftKings, you can see Drummond and Bagley both got to the #3 and #4 spots, so keep your eyes peeled there. Lots to like here in this game. By the way, there are 86 of you in here, 42 likes. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done it yet. Would help out a ton. We've got 2 games to go. This one's a biggie for the Lakers. They could be out of the playoff picture in its entirety. No play-in if they lose this one against Dallas. And oh, by the way, they are 12-point underdogs against the Mavs, 218 total. This does not look good for the Lakers. And the biggest piece here, I don't think we're getting Monsieur LeBron James or AD in this one. Now, I just want to look at the injury report quickly just to double check it. But, I know LeBron was not feeling good with his ankle. Yeah, he is properly doubtful. Whoo! Okay, well, let's take LeBron off the floor. This is where things get squirrely. Let's plot this out. So Wenyen Gabriel is going to play like 28 minutes. I think that has to happen. I'm going to say that THT plays 24. I think Dwight, by default, is going to have to play a bit more. I think Stanley Johnson is about to play quite a bit more. We'll do something like that. All right, 19 minutes for DJ Augustine. We have 2 minutes left. We'll do 1 minute left. Who deserves it? Where should it go? Reeves? Reeves works. Whew, okay. So we're going Westbrook. Guys that look like they're going to be decent. Wenyen Gabriel, Stanley Johnson on DraftKings, Russ, Malik Monk, Dwight Howard, honestly. Now we need to get the rates for no LeBron. This is where it becomes a real problem. So if we take off LeBron James and we take off Anthony Davis, let's grab some rates. Time to fire up your Russell Westbrooks, baby. Russell Westbrook in a 12-point game trying to save the Lakers season by himself. This is the hero story no one has ever looked for. All right, Russ. In 572 minutes with LeBron off and AD off, he's got a 34% usage rate. The assist rate is oddly lower. Rebounding doesn't change. Still looks exceptional for today. Melo, 23% usage rate. Does not assist on anything. Actually gets a rebounding bump. Malik Monk, 23% usage rate. Does not really change in anything else that he does. Austin Reeves, 12.4% usage rate. So we'll leave him in it as normal. Actually takes a bit of a assist hit. Makes sense. Ball's in Westbrook's hands more. Wenyen Gabriel. Don't have the sample for it. Stanley Johnson does absolutely nothing when everybody else is out there. Does get a bit of an assist bump and a bit of a rebounding bump. And then we close with Dwight. Dwight, 16% usage rate. It's clearly not assisting on anything. Somehow rebounds less. Now, I do want to take a quick peek at the rates just to see if Wenyen Gabriel has any sort of sample. Gabriel has played 91 minutes without LeBron on, 18% usage rate. I'll just lock that in. Well, there's your Lakers. And yeah, this is a pretty bad matchup just in general. All right, Dallas. Do we need to know anything for the Mavs for today? Other than the fact that they should smack them. No Sterling Brown. Okay, so this is just normal Dallas rotation. Should be 9 guys. Dinwiddie in for 31. Has not played that the previous 2. We're going to cut him down to 29. We'll bump up Bertans. No, we won't. We'll leave Bertans at 11. We'll bump up no one else. Bump up Josh Green 1. And no, not Jalen Brunson 1. Who should get this minute? I guess I should just go to Bertans. That doesn't really matter. Dallas is easy. Dallas rotation hasn't changed at all. And now we look at the biggest problem for today. Russell Westbrook on FanDuel is 8,100. He is firmly in the pack of best plays. On DraftKings, he's a little bit further down, but still good. Wenyen Gabriel and Stanley Johnson on FanDuel and DraftKings, respectively, are your 2 other main options. And then for Dallas, Andrew Higgins. Glad you're here, man. Thank you for being here. I'm glad the show helps. That's what I was hoping it would do. So I'm glad you're here. No worries that you don't comment. That's fine. Hit that like button, though. Luka. All the pay-up options look great today. 10-5 on FanDuel, 11-4 on DraftKings. Luka looks exceptional. Surprise, surprise. The Lakers' atrocious defense. Pretty good spot for Luka Doncic here. I guess like Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell are all fine. But as we add this game in, let's take a look now. So Luka jumps to the top of FanDuel. Both he and Bey are the easy combo. If you can get to Embiid, go for it. But really, it's going to be like Luka, Bey, and then one of Embiid, Giannis, Harden. Russ comes into the number 5 spot. It's a little bit further down on DK. He's 8th, but you still get Luka at the top. He outpaces Embiid. He outpaces Harden. So you could really mix and match those pay-ups. But I think Luka is the best option for today, given the matchup. Am I on live before lock today? No, I am not. It's just this today. Let's close this out. Final game. Utah Jazz, 1-point underdogs in LA against the Clippers. I don't know who's available for Utah. They don't either. Mitchell is not on the injury report. Boyan is questionable. Rudy Gobert is questionable. Daniel House is questionable. So we got to get Boyan back out there. He has missed 8 games in a row. So let's assume that he comes back. And right away we get just different minutes everywhere. So Mike Conley's in for 30. Donovan Mitchell's in for 35. We walk Clarkson back down to 29. Again, we got 28 for Boyan. I'm going to delete Wancho and Pascal and Whiteside, and Royce O'Neal can stay in at his 34. We'll actually make that 33. Yeah, Ron, that pile up is like 15 minutes from my parents' house. I've driven through that exact stretch of road in the times that I've been home recently. All right. Backup center to Gobert. Probably just Pascal, especially here. And then we get 33 minutes out of Royce O'Neal. Give another 15 to Rudy Gay. And I don't totally have a great feel on whether they go to I guess House is going to be the first guy to grab some of this playing time again. And then probably Trent Forrest. I think that Wancho is not long for this rotation. And then from a rates perspective, I'm guessing we don't have a lot of changes to make other than just accounting for Boyan. And I guess not accounting for Joe Ingles. So I'm going to say Joe Ingles off. And we'll say that Mike Conley, Boyan, Gobert, Clarkson, Mitchell all played. Big sample, but they don't miss a lot of time, so this is going to be a pretty easy one for the Jazz. Yeah, I mean, massive sample here. So let's grab these quick Jazz rankings, which obviously we're going to be making these changes when Boyan inevitably gets ruled out. I hate that this game is just on an island. I would rather them just cut this game out and make it just a bigger showdown slate and make the main slate 4 games that lock at 7:30, basically. Well, 7, but you know what I mean. I think the slate would just play out better. Morning Toasted Biscuits. All right, all these rates are going to be pretty quick. 32% usage rate for Mitchell, no other changes. Boyan goes to 21.6. Clarkson goes to 25. Conley goes to 20.5. Royce O'Neal goes to 10. Rudy Gobert goes to 16.1. Every other rate I know is just going to be fine, so that's Utah. But the big piece here for the LA Clippers, in case you have not seen it, we got a Q tag on Paul George, and I think he's going to be playing. This one's big. We have Paul George back for today. Now, Brandon Boston's fake minutes are long gone. Amir Coffey is certainly going to see less time. I think Terrence Mann is going to see less time. Luke Kennard down to 20. That gets me 22. I think that number looks fine. I think everything else, I guess maybe I take 2 minutes away from Zubats here, give those to Paul George. That gets him to 24. Now I have to grab new Clippers rates. Here's the problem with the Clippers. If Paul George is back, it actually probably makes everyone awful. Like if I grab the rates where Paul George plays, I don't even think I really need to do anything. Only Reggie Jackson and Terrence Mann are going to look any good. So if I say Paul George plays, Reggie Jackson plays, we'll say Marcus Morris also plays. And I'm going to say Eric Bledsoe off. I think that's probably the only guy that we would have to really care about. But there's not a lot here that I want to change. Paul George has a 30% usage rate. That's already in, basically. Reggie Jackson's at 25. That's basically already in. Terrence Mann's doesn't change. So I actually don't have rates to change here for the Clippers. They just look awful. Truly, truly awful. Like, as we look at Utah, Rudy Gobert gets a yellow on DK at 7,300. Yeah, that's a really good price. You know, if you want to go to Mitchell or Conley, like, I think that's fine. There's no priorities here. But look how bad it is for the Clippers. It's a red Reggie Jackson, and that's it. I mean, they are basically unplayable. Basically unplayable. Now it's black. I took 1 minute away from Reggie Jackson. They don't have a single good play on the entire team. How did that get messed up? Wait, what's going on here? Okay. Cutoffs just for color. Got it. Well, the highest ranking guy on FanDuel is Rudy Gobert at 15. He's 14th on DraftKings. Otherwise, the rest of that game is just non-existent. Let's run us some crunches, folks. We are through 5 games pretty promptly. There are 116 of you here, 60 likes. If you haven't, please hit that like button. It would help me out a ton. Now let's run our crunches, folks. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we are saved. We need to move the live scoring out of there. Now we can copy. I'm very curious on these crunches. Like, we know who's going to get grabbed from the pay-ups. I'm really curious as to who the values are going to be. Apparently selecting a default doesn't matter. But that's okay. Now, projections uploaded. All right, power rankings on FanDuel first. No surprises here. We knew who was going to be at the top. And it's a blurry one on the top. It really is. So we got 4 guys in the upper echelon. Sadiq Bey is your number 1. Giannis, Luka, Harden, and Embiid, all in that same top 5. And then Wenyen Gabriel, Russ, DeRozan are the other guys above 25%. That's the key pieces for today. And then we look at the optimal. My optimal. 337, Russ, Satoransky, Luka, DeRozan, Giannis, Bey, Stewart, Gabriel, and Dwight Howard. So the double pay up of Luka and Giannis, although you're also paying up for Russ. How is Russell Westbrook more expensive than DeMar DeRozan? That's special. That's something special. I mean, DeMar was 10-2 on FanDuel on March 3rd. 26 days later, he's 7,900. Craziness. Now we close it out with DraftKings. Put another one down. Power rankings on DK. Let's see. Russ, last 30 days, Russ is 1.02 fantasy points per minute. DeMar DeRozan 1.06. It's kind of crazy. I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but, you know, it's not what we expected. Okay, so DraftKings didn't turn randomness on for reasons. Okay. Dave, I'll reach out later to get this quick view default nonsense handled. All right. Power rankings on DraftKings. Let's try this again. Oh, no. Is it going to be Stanley Johnson? Stanley Johnson, 3,300, by the way. Now he's tumbling. Luka Doncic is going to be your number one contender on DraftKings. Don't have too much of an issue with that. Luka and Corey Kispert. Then Satoransky, Stanley Johnson, Marvin Bagley, James Harden, Andre Drummond, and Zach LaVine, all north of 20%. The Russ news had nothing to do with LeBron. He's 81, 82, 83, 81 over the past 4 slates. Luka Doncic is your number one guy on DraftKings today. But the better question is, who's in the optimal? The answer would be 285.7, 2 separate lineups. Luka, Kispert, Dorian Finney-Smith, Stanley Johnson, Embiid, Bullock, Bagley, Drummond. So double pay up Luka Embiid, which exists in both of these lineups. The difference between the two is swapping Corey Kispert for Tomas Satoransky. Same exact projection. Kispert, $200 cheaper. Well, folks, that'll do it. 5 games up, 5 games down. A quite easy 5-game slate. I will have contenders videos out shortly. Strategy show does not have me on it, but you should still watch it. Live Before Lock and Deeper Dive do not have me on it, but you should still watch them both. I'll be around today, so good luck to everybody. Thank you guys for being here once again. It's always great to see you guys. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. Shout out to Prize Picks for being the presenting sponsor of this show. Awesemo.com/prizepicks-promo. Get yourself 1 free month. This was The Process.